Guardians of the Galaxy is the 10th installment of the MCU. It was released back in 2014, produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Motion Pictures. It was written and directed by James Gunn. It was definitely something new and different, something that people were not expecting, but definitely one that really left a strong mark within the MCU. So now in the next couple of minutes, I want to explore this film. I want to review it to get to see if this movie is as good as some people say, or maybe as bad as some others say. We will determine that in this video. The good. The movie is based on the 2008 comic book Guardians of the Galaxy by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning. One of the best comic book stories of recent memory from Marvel Comics. I really enjoyed that run. I still enjoy it to this day. Of course, it's no longer here, but I read it often. I definitely like it. And definitely James Gunn did a phenomenal job adapting that story into the screen. And this movie actually propelled these characters into to pop culture, because they were unknown only for comic book fans, only knew that. And many comic book fans didn't even know the characters. But definitely it was a great adaptation of the comic book story. What makes this film so memorable is the interaction among characters. There's some chemistry there. There's a ragtag team of lovable misfits. They're all put together in this situation, and they're all different, but they all have the same core elements that make them great. They care for people. They care. And that's something that really is valuable. And you can see that, of course, Star-Lord, Peter Quill, he is a mischievous guy, but he's a great leader, and he cares for people. He loves people. You have Gamora, that she is an assassin, but she is very noble, and she wants to do what's right. You have Drax the Destroyer, who is a strong man. He's not the smartest of the bunch, but definitely he is a good friend. He's very loyal, and also he cares. You have Rocket Raccoon, who is definitely big-mouthed. He's a bounty hunter. It seems like he doesn't care for people, but deep inside he does. And of course he has his accomplice Groot, who is doesn't really say much, but definitely he cares, and he has the heart, and actually he holds the family together because he has this big heart, and definitely he has one of the best moments in the film. So definitely this chemistry, this interaction, how you get to see them clash at first but then come together, is one of the best parts of this film. The action scenes and the CGI are spectacular. And I mean it, they're spectacular. This film is full of color. Many movies have a hard time really creating good CGI that is believable. But of course in this film, the way it was put together, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful film. It keeps you engaged, just the color, everything, throws at you. It really fits the profile, the design, the costumes, everything. The movie was well crafted and it's beautiful to watch. The movie has a lot of comedy, and for some people that might be a disappointment. I have some friends that don't like that, but I do like it. It really portrays the characters well, and also plays homage to the characters on the comic book story, because they also were sarcastic, and there's a lot of comedy in that run, and you feel it in this film. There's a lot of comedy. It really plays well with these characters and make it more, you feel more comfortable with them, because the bottom line is that many people didn't know much about these characters prior to the film. So the way you break that ice is by adding a little bit of comedy in the flow of things, so you feel more at home, more comfortable with them. Also, the soundtrack in this film is gorgeous. It's good. It's beautiful. I would say so too. I loved it. You would expect from a type of film like this, you would expect more like an intergalactic, futuristic type of soundtrack and music score. But it doesn't have that. It has tunes from the 70s, classic tunes, which really kind of brings the retro vibe into the film, and it plays well. It makes you feel more comfortable, because those are memories that many of us have when we were kids, those 70s songs. And it definitely plays well for adults in this case, and it really keeps with the mood. It really gives this mood, this vibe, this homey vibe to the entire film. Now let's talk about the bad. It would not be fair if we only talk about the good. We also need to bring the bad into perspective. And some things that might be good for some, it might be bad for others. And in this case, the comedy. Of course, like I mentioned before, some people love it, Some people hate it. But the truth of the matter is that some of the comedy to me works well, but some of the comedy was a bit on the edge. It was a bit too mature for the audience. There's a lot of people in the crowd. There's a lot of families coming to watch this film, so it was a bit edgy. Of course, James Gunn is always known for this sarcastic type of humor, this black humor. And definitely he puts that on the screen. He puts that on the script. And it is fun, but when you consider as a more mature audience, it's fun for them, but not necessarily for the younger audience. So they can come across as offensive for some people and for some families. As usual, with every Marvel film, there are a lot of silly moments. We have grown accustomed to it, and we expect it to happen, but it doesn't mean that that is always welcome. And some of those silly moments really kind of affect the flow of the film and the way the message of the film is delivered. One example, for the way they finally defeated Ronan, the accuser, which was kind of silly. There's a dance-off in the film, and of course, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but it was silly. It was kind of funny at the moment, but when you look at it in a different perspective, it definitely it really killed the mood, because definitely was a big moment prior to that. So things like that are normal. We have grown accustomed to it in the MCU, not necessarily means that we like it too much. In conclusion, Guardians of the Galaxy is a fun ride all around. I really have fun with the film. I can tell you one thing, I enjoyed this film more now than I did, years before when it came out. I enjoy it more now when I can see it. And to be honest, the things that I count as flaws before, they're not as big as damaging as I thought they were. I really like it. It definitely has a lot of good moments. Some people may find some of the comedy offensive, but at the same time, this comedy really allows for you to really engage with these characters that are newcomers, and they feel more personal. You get to see their flaws. They're human beings. They're people from other planets, but they're, at the end of the day, they're human, and they have flaws in their character and their persona, but also they have traits of greatness. There's a lot of good elements and good parts in them that they don't even know, but they are there injected in their persona and their beliefs and what they do, and that's great. This movie was great because it allows you to to see, to watch all the band being put together, how they have to struggle, but at the end how they come together, and I really love that. The film has a great lessons for family, even though some of the comedy might be uncalled for some. It does have a great lesson for teenagers and for everyone. Lessons about standing for what's right, defending the rights of those that cannot defend themselves, and also for the importance of second chances. I feel that this movie has a good message, and it's all well packed together, and it definitely really delivers the punch, and it's almost, in many ways, it's almost perfect, although it has flaws. So if I have to give this film a score, I would say I'd give this film a 9 out of 10, which means that this movie is almost perfect. But not necessarily the best within the MCU. I think other films are really top this one in comparison. But what is your opinion? I would like to hear it. Definitely leave your comments below. Let me know how you feel. Do you like Guardians of the Galaxy? Do you hate Guardians of the Galaxy? I would like to hear your opinion. Please also share this video with your friends, and also consider following me, or follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and consider supporting this channel. You can do that through Patreon, through PayPal, GoFundMe. Whatever money you give, it will be used in this channel, of course, to expand this channel and to make it better for you. So once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for taking the time. Stay tuned for more videos. Now, if you want to watch a video review of the next movie in the MCU line, which is actually Avengers Age of Ultron, I already reviewed this film some years ago, and I will have the link at the end for you to watch it. And I watched the movie again, and I still feel the same way as I did before. Nothing really has changed. Whatever I said in that review still stands up to this day. So once again, thanks for watching, and God bless you. I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.